Bungie is feeling absolutely defeated. In their most recent post, you can feel the energy, and rightly so. It's been a rough couple of months for Bungie as a company. And even after the loss of Pete Parsons, we have not seen some significant improvement. We're spiraling out of control at this point. It's getting really bad. DMG just recently responded to a topic that has become trending. We even covered it as a video on this channel where he talked about we need to build momentum and maintain it. Let's effing do this. And a lot of people have been roasting him because this came out, like, I guess at this point in time, it's like 2 weeks ago. And following that tweet was like the roughest 2 weeks we have seen in Destiny history. Like, it was just misstep after misstep. And this frustrates people in a lot of ways because you kind of hear and see DMG say one thing, and then the company's decisions are quite the opposite. So a lot of people are frustrated and roasting him for the build momentum stuff. It's become a meme now. And so he decided to respond to this because someone said this. I say this respectfully. Are you being fully serious, or are you just saying this? The last few months have been full of we are listening, and then you guys not listening and not doing anything good, right? This is a very fair criticism, and this is put in a respectable way, so he actually responded. He says, it sucks, right? It's not a good start. It sucks that we've been unable to build positive momentum. Too many bumps in the road and missteps. To be fair, you got to take accountability, right? The reason why you're unable to build this positive momentum is because of you guys yourselves. A lot of people, we were blaming the higher ups. We blamed Pete Parsons. We said, oh, it's him. He's the problem. If we just get rid of him, then everything would be better. But clearly that's not the case. I truly believe we are beginning to shift and head in the right direction. Roadmap to come, and I hope it helps us to rebuild trust as we move towards Renegades and beyond. Much love. So that's the response. All right. So he believes that there's a shift happening within the studio, that they're starting to change course and a new direction is being built. And we hopefully will actually see this momentum be built, right? The only place you can go when you have hit rock bottom is up, technically. So hopefully things can get better, because as it stands right now, I would not be surprised if we heard about a third round of layoffs, because the population in this game is dwindling by the day. It's getting very bleak playing Destiny 2. This entire article was written about this post as well. It reads, after weeks of backlash, Bungie admits Destiny 2's post-Edge of Fate missteps and promises a roadmap to rebuild trust. I want to see this roadmap, by the way. This roadmap needs to deliver in a massive way, because right now we're kind of putting everything on this roadmap where they're like, listen, we know everything's going bad right now, but just wait till you see this roadmap. This thing is going to be incredible, right? There better be some good stuff on here. Starting with Iron Banner armor changes and future content plans. Since the launch of Edge of Fate, things haven't exactly gone smoothly for Destiny 2. That's an understatement. What should have been a fresh start for the game turned into a rough ride, with players voicing growing frustrations over bugs, balance issues, and controversial monetization decisions. And really, my biggest concern with a lot of this is that most companies, when they've been doing something for so long, they kind of get into a rhythm and they get better at what they're doing and more efficient. And it feels like Bungie is regressing constantly. They are unable to do things now that they seemed to be able to do better years ago. It's almost like the people that are working for Bungie right now are not the A-tier talent that we previously had many years ago. And it's frustrating because it feels like we're working with the B team right now, and they have no clue what they're doing. We got intern Andes at the helm, and it just feels like the company is lost. Steam reviews for the expansion reflect the mood. The Edge of Fate currently sits at overwhelmingly negative. That overwhelmingly really stings. I don't think we've ever seen an overwhelmingly before, right? We looked at Lightfall, and even Lightfall wasn't there. With only 10% positive reviews of the 358 in the last 3 days. Wow, it went down to 10%. So a lot more people are voicing their negative opinion, right? It's about to be at like 0% positive reviews. It's looking bleak for Destiny 2 Edge of Fate. The first major update, Ash and Iron, was hit even harder, with players calling it the worst update Bungie has ever released. So miss after miss, L after L, alongside technical problems and frustrating bugs like a broken progression system. Players were also unhappy about the game's reward structure. In a blog post released shortly after the Renegades reveal livestream, Bungie confirmed that the Iron Banner mode will get an incredibly cool new set of armor. But surprise, surprise, they decided to lock that behind a paywall. However, shortly after the update, players found out that this new set was actually a recolored armor from 7 years ago, originally released during the Warmind expansion. They pulled the old switcheroo. Alright, things escalated when an artist shared concept art of a new Destiny 2 armor set that prominently featured Iron Banner's iconography. Fans quickly noticed that the final in-game version of that armor appeared in the Eververse store, sold for real money, and didn't feature the Iron Banner sigil. This led many to believe that Bungie moved the earnable Iron Banner armor to the Eververse store. And to be clear, Bungie responded to this, but they did not admit to that, even though it seems pretty obvious, because they did the thing that we asked, which is put this inside Iron Banner. So they didn't admit to that just yet, and they didn't apologize for it. They just decided to do the right thing and actually make it earnable in Iron Banner. The backlash was so loud that earlier today, Bungie responded by pulling the paid Ancient Majesty set from Eververse and adding it to Iron Banner instead, which was the right decision, right? Too many bumps in the road and too many missteps. Shortly after the armor change, Bungie's principal communications manager, Dylan Gaffner, replied to a frustrated fan on X. The fan had asked if Bungie was being fully serious about listening to feedback, pointing to months of missteps. Gaffner responded, right? It sucks that we've been unable to build positive momentum, right? Too many missteps. We just read this previously. I truly believe we're beginning to shift and head in the right direction. Roadmap to come, all right? In a separate post from the Destiny 2 team, Bungie confirmed a roadmap is in the works. The devs said they're actively working on fixing progression issues from Ash and Iron, and more info is expected in this week's TWID blog. This week's TWID needs to deliver in a big way. This week's TWID needs to have resounding bells of Bungie is listening, Destiny is healing, things are getting better, because the last few TWIDs have been rough. It really feels like they're not listening to us. It feels like the direction they're taking the game is a bizarre one. And more importantly, it feels like the time and the energy they're putting into things is really not where it needs to be. A good example of this in some ways is that they're doing the not swap on the new raid. We don't need that. The raids, the contest raids, we're doing great without that. Adding that and dealing with all the issues of that, kind of a waste of developmental effort. People were happier before not swap. I do not think not swap is going to usher in a ton of new people suddenly interested in doing a contest raid. We should have just left that one in the drafts, Bungie. We didn't need not swap. For players still sticking around, there are some new pieces of content right around the corner. The Desert Perpetual Epic Raid is set to launch September 27th. I will be live streaming that, so make sure you follow me on twitch.tv/like10p. The link is down below. Followed by a brand new exotic mission, Warsat Heist, in October. That mission will introduce a new exotic weapon called Wolf's Bane. Also, I'm still looking forward to that as well. Feels like the stuff that Ash and Iron has is set so far out right now that we're just like, what even is this update? All the good stuff is still weeks, months away. It's clear Bungie is trying to repair the damage, but after months of frustration, many fans are waiting to see if the studio can truly follow through this time. What do you think? Can Bungie win back the community's trust with these changes? Or is it too little, too late? So what I think is that Bungie can always win people back, but it's not a one and done type of thing. It needs to be a pattern. It needs to be a constant continuation of listening to the community, implementing new things, and working feverishly hard to build this franchise up from the ground up. Right now, we're at basically rock bottom with the population and interest in Destiny 2. And if it continues this way, like I've said many times before, I don't think that Destiny 2 dies overnight in an instant. It's a very slow, drawn out, bleeding death. And as you go look at all the different Steam charts right here, we can pull this up. In fact, pull up the Destiny 2 Steam charts. You can see the slow, bleeding death that we're experiencing right now. If we look at the last 48 hours, we barely hitting over at 28,000 as we're looking right now. Today was a Tuesday reset with the launch of Iron Banner with a whole new armor set that actually looks incredible. One new weapon. This should be a lot of interest in Destiny 2 right now, right? Instead, we're just at 31,000. Like, this barely got anyone's attention at all, right? The Bungie put a good amount of developmental effort into this, right? They've been promoting this Ash and Iron update for a long time now, and it's not moving the needle at all. And it should be. People should be way more interested. But the problem is, like I said before, Destiny itself is not going to just die in an instant. It's going to be a slow bleeding death, and it's going to be other games being so much better that eventually kill this game. Eventually, other games will grab your attention and maintain your attention for longer periods of time, and just you'll be a part of those games instead. A lot of people are going over to Destiny Rising and enjoying that. A lot of people are going to Borderlands 4. A lot of people, even before this, were playing Warframe. There's a lot of people that are playing a lot of other games now and having a lot of fun with them. A lot of people are playing Helldivers. Everyone's talking to me about Helldivers. They're trying to convince me to become a Helldivers streamer and content creator. And honestly, it sounds like it's pretty good over there at this point in time. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to give it a try. But as it stands right now, I want Destiny 2 to be good. I do. I want Destiny 2 to be a lot better than this. And I know that they can do it because we've seen them do incredible things in the past. We've seen what Destiny Rising has added to the, Destiny IP, and it's all right there for you. Like, all the tools, all the information, all the feedback is right there. All you have to do is just care enough to execute on it. And it seems like DMG cares. It seems like he's a pretty passionate guy. He talks a lot, talks a big game on Twitter about the game, always trying to improve the game at least. But it seems like the rest of the studio doesn't follow suit in the same way. I wish everyone had just as much passion as DMG does, even if it's misguided at times. He seems like he's really trying to build it up, and he's willing to, receive all the shots and all the backlash that people are firing at him from all the stuff that he posts. But I wish that you saw the CEO out here doing this. The CEO of the company, they're way more powerful, way more influential. They should be on Twitter. Instead, they're nowhere to be found. They don't tweet. We should see the game director, okay? Tyson Green. Where is this guy? Where is Tyson Green? Right? We used to have Joe Blackburn, and Joe Blackburn talked about things. Joe Blackburn live streamed his Destiny 2 gameplay. Right? Do you remember when he lost in that lost sector to an overload? That was an incredible time. Now we got a game director who doesn't care to talk to us at all. We got a CEO who doesn't talk to us. We got hundreds of employees in a studio, and none of them give two shits to say a single word to us about anything. They all just fuck off and say nothing the whole time. They're just over on Blue Sky tweeting about what else. I don't even know what at this point. And it's kind of frustrating. It's sad to see the company go down the drain, and I hope that things change though, because it at least seems like DMG is motivated. It seems like he's ready for things to get going, but the rest of the company, I'm not sure. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.